And what we see on the chart of Bitcoin here is that, again, we did exactly what we talked about. We came back into this little mini scene of the crime right there, and so far we've had a big bounce. Now, this weekend and into next week is really important for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, let's discuss these topics and more.
It needs to confirm above this level right here. It hasn't confirmed yet. It got above. Can it confirm? If it can confirm, then you got to think 74,000, a test of the all-time highs, is next on Bitcoin. Again, as I say, my only concern for Bitcoin, and I'm a mid to long-term bull on Bitcoin, my only concern is the stock market. And if you're a hardcore crypto person, that kind of sucks because it's like, I mean, why do we have to be influenced if it's Bitcoin? If you believe in Bitcoin, it's like, well, it should be something that, again, is universally almost a digital gold. It's a safety play. It's something that, again, 21 million. But in essence, you have these ETFs that were launched that got a lot of retail, non-hardcore crypto players in, and they are influenced by fear and greed. So if the stock market sells, they dump their ETF, whether it's the iShares or whatever, or the other BlackRock ETF, whatever it is, and then BlackRock has to sell Bitcoin because they're dumping it, right? But essentially, BlackRock has to do whatever happens with the ETF. If it sells off, they have to dump it. If it rallies, they buy more Bitcoin. So just monitor that. And again, it's not the best thing in the world for a hardcore crypto person to want to follow the stock market necessarily, but in this case, we kind of do have to. And I showed over the last couple of days how Bitcoin was down this day right here. The stock market was getting crushed. Then the stock market began to bounce. Bitcoin bounced right up. Yesterday, stock market was up. We'll see what Bitcoin does today with the stock market up early in the day. All right, on to gold, guys. Gold today is holding up relatively. Well, it's pulling back a little bit, but it's not too crazy of a pullback here. In fact, it's rallied off the lows. Just taking a look, folks, we have a channel that I'm monitoring on a technical basis. We have these high levels right here. Every time it seems to touch this line, it gets rejected. The key that I'm watching, and this is something that I don't necessarily know, no one really knows, is the resistance. What you don't know is how big of a pullback you're going to get. So is it just going to be kind of a shallow one like it was over here before new highs, or is it going to be a bigger one going into this level or below? And that's really what we're all waiting to find out. We know the resistance line. The resistance line has been proven here to here to here to here, all the way back even below that. We just don't know the size of the pullback. The one thing I will say is the miners really took a trouncing yesterday because of Newmont Mining. Newmont Mining essentially announced that their earnings were not the greatest. They didn't miss by a ton, but it was their costs. Costs are going up quite substantially, and that's one of the worst things to be seen for one of these stocks or any of these companies, is if their costs are rising, then even if gold's price rise, they're not going to make more money. Now, if gold price keeps rising, well, then they're going to make more money because eventually their costs aren't going to go up exponentially. If gold just keeps going up, they're going to make a lot of money. So something like Newmont Mining, I actually think is a very intriguing buying opportunity on such a big dip that it saw yesterday, and it is trading down just a little bit in the pre-market.
Microsoft shareholders are set to vote on a proposal to invest in Bitcoin at the December annual meeting. While the board opposes the move, even the possibility has stirred excitement in corporate and crypto circles. Shareholders will vote on whether Microsoft should consider a Bitcoin investment. Although advisory, the proposal reflects rising interest in corporate BTC investments. With $76 billion in cash, even a modest 10% allocation to Bitcoin could make Microsoft one of the largest BTC holders. Bitcoin supply is limited, with over 80% held long-term. A Microsoft buy-in could drive prices higher amid reduced supply. Citing volatility, the board opposes the move, though shareholder interest underscores Bitcoin's growing corporate appeal. While Microsoft may not adopt Bitcoin soon, the proposal highlights Bitcoin's increasing appeal among institutional investors, signaling potential shifts in corporate investment strategies.
In fact, we can take a look at that chart real quick here. Look at the drop on Newmont today, or this was yesterday. It's trading down just a little bit. In these scenarios, I love to use my fibs. And what we could see here is right around 48, which is where it's trading pre-market. There's a 382 fib retrace. That should be very significant technical support on Newmont Mining. And again, if you're a longer-term bull on gold, then dips on Newmont Mining are buying opportunities. Silver real quick. Let's take a look at silver here. And silver, again, kind of stalled out. If you look at gold bounced yesterday. Silver did not. It was flat. Today, gold is down slightly and silver is down. This is your technical support right here at around 32.50. If it breaks that, my buy level is still 29. And I fully am okay missing a trade. If it never comes back to 30.29, so be it. There's so many other trades for me to take as a swing trader. There's literally multiple every single day. That the discipline, and I think this is key, is when an investor starts to realize that any one trade is not the last trade there will ever be on earth, then you're okay missing it. You have to use your discipline and say, make sure it comes to my level, and if it doesn't come to my level, I'll pass. And by the way, just because it comes to your level based on technical analysis, it doesn't mean it's going to be a slam dunk winner, all right? But it limits the amount of hardships you go through as a trader, which is really important, right? You want to be in as many as you can that generally are easy trades. They go right up, but always understanding there will be that one trade or two trades out of every 10 that get punished further, and that's where you do small starter positions so you can maneuver and dollar cost average, assuming you still like the chart. All right, let's look at oil real quick here as we go into oil. Let's see what we have on this chart. Oil getting a small bounce again. It really just is chopping here, folks. The other thing, too, is maybe a little head and shoulder pattern right here. So, again, shoulder, head, and shoulder possibly. Either way, I see nothing at this time that is bullish on oil, and I still expect further downside in the near term, and still a 2025 target price of $50 is on my radar at this point as well. Lastly here, take a look. Nat gas continues to climb up. You will have a little resistance at double top. You could even draw a trend line from this high to right there. So once you get into this area, this is where I am going to look to potentially short it if it gets up there in a straight line. If it doesn't, then that's the discipline of the nature. I'll just miss it. No big deal. Same thing down here. If it flushed majorly, this would be your technical level of support.
Bryce's leaders have criticized the West's economic dominance, condemning the use of reserve currencies as weapons, while clarifying that BRICS is not an anti-Western alliance. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov stated that BRICS is not anti-Western and welcomes cooperation, as reiterated by President Putin. Ryabkov criticized Western nations' reliance on reserve currencies to sustain dominance, describing these tactics as economic weapons. BRICS leaders emphasized that the alliance will not tolerate threats to member nations' sovereignty in economic and financial policies. Advocating for a multipolar world order, BRICS seeks fair global participation in shaping finance and trade policies. BRICS' message is clear. While open to cooperation, the alliance aims to redefine global economic dynamics by prioritizing sovereignty and balanced power. Bitcoin's sudden $3,000 drop, triggered by a controversial report on Tether, led to over $400 million in liquidations, impacting thousands of over-leveraged traders. The DOJ alleged an investigation into Tether's involvement in possible AML and sanctions violations. Tether CEO Paulo Arduino refuted the claims, saying Tether regularly works with law enforcement to prevent misuse. Following the report, BTC dropped by $3,000 within minutes, briefly stabilizing at $67,000. CoinGlass reported that almost 150,000 traders were affected, with Bitcoin and Ethereum accounting for $68 million and $65 million in liquidations, respectively. Arduino asserted that Tether remains committed to regulatory compliance, describing the claims as unfounded. The incident reflects the sensitivity of the crypto market to regulatory concerns, as traders remain vigilant in a volatile environment. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.